Welcome to the Unit 5 test read aloud. If you need some more time between questions, please pause the recording. Question number 1. Chemical reactions always produce physical change, a chemical change, heat. Question 2. In a chemical reaction, the atoms of the reactants always stay together to form the products. The bonds of reactant compounds break, atoms rearrange, and new bonds form among those rearranged atoms to form products. Some atoms disappear while others multiply to form products. Question 3. In chemistry lab, some students added small pieces of magnesium to hydrochloric acid. They noticed that bubbles formed, the test tube got hot, and the magnesium disappeared. Which of the following is not a sign that a chemical reaction has taken place in this experiment? Odor, formation of a gas, formation of a precipitate. Question 4. Magnesium reacts with nitrogen to form magnesium nitride. The chemical formula for this reaction is Mg plus N2 yields Mg3N2. Magnesium plus nitrogen gas yields magnesium nitride. What is the product, or what are the products of this reaction? Magnesium, nitrogen, magnesium nitride. Question 5. Carbon and oxygen combine to form carbon dioxide. What are the reactants, or what is the reactant in this chemical reaction? Carbon dioxide, oxygen only, carbon and oxygen. Question 6. In the chemical reaction, methane plus oxygen gas yields carbon dioxide and water. There are reactants on the left of the equation and products on the right. If you count the atoms in the reactants, there are 1 carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 2 oxygen atoms, 1 carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 4 oxygen atoms, 4 carbon atoms, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 4 oxygen atoms. Question 7. Which of the following equations does not demonstrate the law of conservation of mass? We have sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid yields sodium chloride in water. Phosphorus plus oxygen gas yields tetraphosphorus decaoxide. And sodium plus chlorine gas yields sodium chloride. Question 8. We demonstrate the law of conservation of mass in chemical equations when we predict the chemical formulas of the products, insert reaction coefficients before reactants and products, ensure all products will be solids. Which of the following equations is balanced? Number 9. Again, question number 9. Which of the following equations is balanced? We have phosphorus plus oxygen yields diphosphorus pentaoxide for all 3. Question 10. Which of the following is the balanced form of the equation C2H6 plus oxygen gas yields carbon dioxide and water? Question 11. What type of chemical reaction is CH4 plus oxygen gas yields carbon dioxide and water? Decomposition, synthesis, combustion. Question 12. What is usually released in a combustion reaction? Carbon, elemental oxygen, energy. Question 13. Hydrogen, when combined with nitrogen in a chemical reaction, forms ammonia. This is an example of which type of chemical reaction? Double displacement, single displacement, synthesis. Question 14. Which of the following best describes why manganese 2 sulfate yields manganese 2 oxide plus sulfite is not a synthesis reaction? Energy is not a product in this reaction. The equation is not balanced. The reaction has more than one product. Question 15. If that same equation, manganese 2 oxide yields manganese 2 oxide plus sulfite or sulfur trioxide is not a synthesis reaction, then what type of reaction is it? Single displacement, decomposition, double displacement. I'm going to read that one more time. If that same reaction, so if manganese 2 sulfate yields manganese 2 oxide plus sulfur trioxide is not a synthesis reaction, then what type of reaction is it? Single displacement, decomposition, double displacement. Question 16. A reaction that is essentially the opposite of a synthesis reaction describes which of the following? Decomposition, combustion, oxidation reduction. Question 17. Copper 2 nitrite plus zinc yields copper and zinc 2 nitrate is an example of which type of reaction? I'm going to read that again. Copper 2 nitrate plus solid zinc yields solid copper and zinc nitrate is an example of which type of reaction? Double displacement, single displacement, decomposition. Question 18. When calcium is mixed with hydrochloric acid, calcium chloride, CaCl2, and hydrogen gas, H2, form. What type of reaction is this? Single replacement, synthesis, combustion. Question 19. Double displacement reactions are often defined by which of the following? Release of light, use of oxygen as a reactant, formation of a precipitate. Question 20. We have sodium sulfide plus cadmium nitrate yields cadmium sulfide plus sodium nitrate is which type of reaction? Single displacement, double displacement, synthesis. Question 21. Which of the following is the best description of a decomposition reaction? A reaction in which one reactant breaks down into two or more products, a reaction that results in the release of heat or light, a reaction in which two products are created. Question 22. The following reaction does not proceed to form a product. Water plus copper yields no reaction. Why is that? The reaction cannot occur because water is a reactant. Copper has a higher activity than hydrogen and cannot replace it. Copper has a lower activity than hydrogen and cannot replace it. Question 23. In the following chemical reaction, what product is represented by X? We have barium chloride plus sodium hydroxide yields X plus barium hydroxide. Is that sodium chloride, chlorine, oxygen, and hydrogen, or water? Question 24. If we want to produce pure aluminum using aluminum chloride as a reactant, what other reactant should we use? Iron, nickel, lithium. Question 25. Based on the activity series, which metal could X represent in the reaction below? We have X plus calcium nitrate yields calcium plus X nitrate. Would that X be barium, iron, or copper? Question 26. Predict the products of the following chemical reaction. Calcium chloride plus sodium carbonate yields sodium chloride plus calcium carbonate, sodium calcium plus chlorine and carbonate, sodium and calcium plus Cl2CO3. Question 27. Predict the products of the following chemical reaction. Potassium chloride plus silver nitrate yields KNO plus AgCl, KClAg plus NO3, or KNO3 plus AgCl. Question 28. What might you expect to observe from this double displacement reaction? Sodium hydroxide plus magnesium chloride yields sodium chloride plus magnesium hydroxide. Sodium chloride precipitate will be formed. Magnesium hydroxide precipitate will be formed. There will be no chemical change because there will be no chemical reaction. The ions will remain suspended in the water solution. Question 29. What might you expect to observe from this double displacement reaction? Cobalt-2 chloride plus sodium sulfate yields cobalt-2 sulfate plus sodium chloride. Cobalt-2 sulfate precipitate will